Spider Tort does whatever Spider Tort can. Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft on the Farside server. You whippersnappers are always a joy to have on board. Today we are in... well, we're in Ladderland. So... let me tell a story. Hey, it's Zangiefx. So I was on the other night, and it was shortly after. It was actually, I think it was shortly after I recorded last week's episode, and I popped back on because I realized, oh, I'd forgotten to get my gear. I'd put all my gear in that chest. Remember, I was like, oh, if I'm gonna die, I don't want to take all my good stuff with me. Because we were working with Endermen, and so I put it in a chest in the end there, and then I went home and totally forgot to get it, so I was going back, I went to grab it, and I jumped on the server and realized, hey, Cluster's on! Our good friend Cluster, it's been a long time since we've seen him. He's taken a several-month break, he got a full-time job and all that stuff, so he's been gone for a long time, but he was on! And so I was out in the end, I was chatting with him, I was trying to figure out what he was up to, what's he doing, you know, just wondering why he's back. And then I finally get out to my base. I mean, we're probably on for like a half hour before I get back out here. And somebody's cleaned up part of it, but there was like pretty much from here to here, pretty much this whole like semicircle was full of just fences, just blocking the entrance here. And then there's ladders everywhere. I don't know where he got all this wood, why he decided, man, maybe I should make those into ladders, but he plastered my base with them. All over Yeti's Tortoise sculpture, all over the beautiful entryway here, along the edge of this thing that I don't even know what that is. There's also, I was like, oh man, that's going to be annoying. And then I came in here, I had some stuff, and stuff to put away, and I enter, and oh, lots of ladders, oh, lots of ladders. And then pretty much all the way around the perimeter of my fortress, ladders. So he had a lot of wood he was looking to waste, and so he went to town. I've even started clearing some of this stuff out. I think all of this and all along here was it as well. And I was like, oh man, I just kind of on reflex was starting to clear it out. I was like, oh, I need to record this. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, tons of ladders. We're in Ladderland, I guess. But we'll have to clear this out another time. I think thankfully, as I was testing it out, I'll have to repair my axe. But thankfully, this isn't too much of a hassle. And actually, let's just. I don't want to carry this with me, so. But yeah, so I don't think Cluster's coming back. Alright, Zangief's touching a shader pack, or testing one. So I don't think, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't think Cluster's like coming back to the server or anything, and I think he's moved, and so he's finally in a position where he can play video games a little more frequently, but I don't think he's planning on coming back full-time or anything like he was before, and even if he did, I think he's doing... I think he's been streaming more, or planning on streaming more than he was planning on coming back to YouTube. So, don't know if there's any collabs in our future, and there's maybe more than one reason for that, which we'll talk about later. But let us get into what we're doing today, because it's been a while since we've done a bigger project, and you guys may be seeing this up here and being like, well, what is that? So... got a bigger project that we're starting today. We haven't done anything big since we finished the entryway here. We've done a little bit of things here and there around, and I updated the iron farm and stuff. Most of that was off camera. We did do a project last time with the ender farm, but again, nothing really on camera. So yeah, today though, we've been talking about it for a long time. We did the farm, and I've been doing some tweaks in there. I don't know if I showed you guys that on camera either, but you know how I've been talking about for a while how I want to get mechanics in there to bring some of the items up when I harvest, so that I don't always have to go to the silo to get things to replant. Well, I've started working on that, so I've got the seed one done. seeds filter up in here. I brought all the seeds over from the miscellaneous chest, and I don't know if I've showed this, so if I have, I apologize. But so there's a hopper here. It is an item sorter, so it's only going to pick up seeds, and then that feeds into, it's essentially a mini silo. An item sorter feeds into an elevator, which takes it up. So yeah, gotta get those in place for all the other ones, and I will be doing that at some point. But making progress on that finally. Lots of stuff I just need to catch up on out here that I can't necessarily record, well, that'll be brought up later as well. So today though, we got the crops farm in place, and I mentioned even at the time, the whole reason I was doing that was so that we could put in an animal farm, which we're starting today. So I had my little pens of animals. We've been up here, up on this hill. I had cows and sheep, a little pen of cows and sheep, and then I had a little pen of pigs, and they were getting overflowing, and so I did a harvest, and I moved the pens out because today we are starting to build something I designed a long time ago, but hadn't really gotten around to, and that is the Slaughterhouse. This is going to be a simpler version of the mechanic, or the project I've dubbed the Slaughterhouse. When I originally devised this, it was years and years and years ago, long before I started YouTube or anything like that. I was just playing Minecraft and having fun doing stuff, and devised this monstrosity. I put in the first level here. This is a 3-tiered project. So yeah, definitely we've got. I wanted to get this in place because really this was just building, nothing real exciting here, and I wanted to get into it. So got this level in. What I'm looking to do with this project is multifold. So we've got the acacia wood and stuff over here. And so, you know, I talked about this before, but mostly all the gray acacia wood style builds are across the river there. And I want this to feel like a cohesive base, so I'm pulling in the acacia wood over here so that it's more spread out, and it feels like it'll make this stuff over here feel less out of place. Not that it really feels out of place, but to me, I want to make sure that everything feels kind of cohesive. So again, I've mixed in the entryway over here. I mixed in some acacia wood and spruce, which you can barely see because of all of Custer's stupid ladders. And then, you know, I've got just the dark wood in here, no acacia at all. And my goal was always to kind of mix those. I didn't want this to be pure monochromatic out here. And really, when I started, oh, that's a golem, isn't it? The stupid thing, I fixed it. Oh, bad shot. I fixed it, but I think the problem that I'm actually having had nothing to do with the size of the farm. Because like I originally had it, and it was one smaller than, it was like exactly their spawn area, and so I expanded it out a bit and had to tear the whole thing down. But I think the problem actually is these guys are supposed to spawn in the middle. Oops, stay away from him, guys, please, thank you. They're supposed to spawn in the middle of a village, but I think the problem actually is, and I understand now why people have done this in other designs. Usually you'll see a design and they'll just have a cube hanging off each side with villagers in it. And I'm thinking, since I don't have these guys distributed evenly, in like kind of quadrants around this, I think that it's not reading the middle of the village the same all the time. So like if they're all hanging out over on this side, I think that's kind of the center of the village, you know, sort of deal. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the issue is. It must be something to that effect, because otherwise this thing is like 20 wide now, so there's no reason they shouldn't be spawning inside it if it's not something like that. So I may have to like quadrant them off, put something in the corners here so they're kind of stuck on one side, and kind of split them up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there for today. I just happened to notice that golem, and that's annoying. Alright, so we're working on the farm though. We're using kind of a similar style. You guys can see I've got kind of the same posts in each corner as I've got all around the fortress, so tying in there and just trying to make this feel more uniform. well, not uniform, but just cohesive. I've used that word several times now, but that's kind of how it feels to me. I'm also going to be putting in the mob farm, as we've talked about before, and I'm going to be using the dark wood. And Ellie's, whatever, is a new member on the server. We've added a couple people recently, and nobody who does any YouTube-y stuff, yeah. So a couple new people, we may see them popping in and out. It's helping make the server a little more active, which is cool, but yeah. Okay, so we're getting going on this farm though, so let's get into it. I've done enough talking. Let's jump in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with let's see. I'm gonna bring yeah. Okay, sure. Why not? And we'll grab this just for good measure. Okay, so what this is, it's called the Slaughterhouse, and originally when I devised it. I called it the Slaughterhouse because, well, it was a house at that point. It was kind of an all-encompassing survival deal. So, you know, I had living quarters, which was kind of in the downstairs, and then I had, you know, up here. We're doing some redstone as part of this. And what I'm building right now is a vertical. Is that what I want to say? Is it a vertical Jeb door? Yeah, it's a vertical Jeb door. So the Jeb door, if you're not familiar, was something that was developed by Jeb, one of the developers, I think, of Minecraft. Yes, that is what I want. And so he developed this thing where it was like a hidden door, and normally it's like a 4x4 door or a 2x2 door. And in it, you know, it would be kind of a flush wall, and then you can, you know, activate it however, but then it pulls out and leaves a 2x2 opening. So what we're going to do is make a vertical version of this, where this thing is going to, there's going to be a hole in the floor that this door is going to fill in, and that's going to allow us to manipulate the animals that we're going to be putting into this farm. So what we do is essentially, well, really, we're done, is essentially this. I need to run this behind there. So the way this works is we're using sticky pistons, and on a certain, you know, maybe he doesn't need to ask. Oh, by the way, I found a location. I'd like to build my house on spawn area. I just wanted to make sure it's fine. Where? There's several new people, so I can't remember who I've talked to about things and who I haven't. But yeah, so I think I've talked to this guy. He should be fine. So yeah, so what we do, we've got all the redstone in place. So we're going to put some blocks here and some blocks here, and let me throw down a lever. Let's put it here. That was weird. Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah, we've already told him he can do that, so yeah. Alright, so let's... There we go. For some reason, must not like, this is a half slab floor, so maybe it just doesn't like that for some reason. Alright, so this gets activated, and these pistons push out these pistons, and then when the pistons get pushed out, this redstone activates those pistons and it pushes this up. So the floor of this area, so there's going to be a second story above this, and this will be just a flush area, and so this is actually going to be, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this room will be, you know, this big. It's not huge, but the water will then flow. So there will be water in the corners, I guess, is the point. But we're going to take the animals from these pens. We'll breed them like crazy, and then there'll be tubes from these pens that'll lead up into this second story here. and it'll deposit them. And then once they're, you know, deposited or whatever, then we can, when we're ready to do a harvest, we can flick this switch, and it will make the floor open up. So see, now there's a hole, and so they'll get pushed to the center, and nothing will happen, and then we can push them to the side. And as I'm thinking about it, this probably isn't even a mechanic that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because when I originally developed this, I think it was before hoppers. So we probably don't even need this gem door, but I'm going to add it just because I like it. And it was in my original design, I will be right back. Okay, I apologize for that. So I think the original thought behind putting this in was that. Well, I think the original idea was because there weren't hoppers, so I would have to wait until I was like standing there to collect the goods. But I'm leaving it in there just because. So essentially there's going to be a tube here, there's going to be a lava blade, and so we'll bring the animals up from the pens into this area. They'll go into the water room. Whenever I feel like harvesting, I'll flick the switch, and it'll open up, and then we will be able to, you know, have a tube here that'll lead down. There'll be some hoppers that'll lead into this chest, and then these guys will fall down, burn to a crisp, and we'll get free fancy cooked meats and things like that. So at the present time, I've got a plan to include cows, sheep, pigs, and actually I did some testing in creative. I had a stream going the other night, and was doing some episode prep because I was like, well, my wife was out of the house for, you know, several hours one evening. I was like, I don't really have anything else I'm supposed to be doing, and I knew was going to need to do some prep for this episode at some point. Ooh, the lag is real. Here we go. I knew I was going to have to do some prep for this episode at some point, so I was like, well, why don't I stream? I haven't done that in a while. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's do a stream, and got in there and spent several hours actually with people in the stream working on this build, and so we got some good feedback from, I don't know if there was any previous viewers that popped in. It was mostly people who had just kind of found me through, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just kind of people who had found me through, you know, Twitch. They were like, oh, you know, just looking through the Minecraft streams going on, and they found me, and several cool guys who stuck around for a while and helped me develop some fun plans for this build for you guys. So appreciative to them. I'm gonna try and stream for that kind of stuff more frequently because it's just more fun when you're hanging out with people and people are helping you out and things like that. Twitch is really well, it's not even my opinion. It's a fact that Twitch for this kind of, well, for like video game commentary sort of deal that I currently use YouTube for. I make videos and put up videos, and you guys get to enjoy the content, and occasionally people comment, things like that. You know, really Twitch is much better for something like that because it's, you know, it's a quarter of the work, but you get the same kind of well, really, you get way more interaction for that, but I don't want to abandon you. Man, the stars, look at them jumping. I don't really want to abandon YouTube or anything like that, so I'm sticking with it, but Twitch really is way better for some of that stuff. So, we see here, we got an open thing, we hit the switch, and then this floor will be flush, and nothing will be able to fall through. So, just a little bit of redstone thrown in there for us. So yeah, let's work on the exterior of this section now. Let's see, do I have any of the stuff I need? I do not. And in fact, since this is going to just be building, let me actually jump ahead here because we're getting close on time and we've got a good fair bit more to do. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the central building put together. And because we've kind of got both sections done, and this is just going to be building, and then once I get the build up, we can come back together and and I'll show you guys what I've put together, and I will also bring you guys in. We'll put in the tubes and get some animals flowing up into it so you guys can see it in action. So yeah, I'm gonna cut here real quick, and I'll bring you guys back in a bit. Alrighty. Alright guys, welcome back. We've got this thing done. You can see it perched up there on the hill. I might be making some tweaks to it. We'll get into that. Oh. Okay. I had a wooden hoe in my tools chest. I was like, oh, I must have... Because at one point I'd had one on me. I grabbed this one and I accidentally took it back to me over there. And I assumed that's what was happening. So, I've got this thing done. So a couple of things. I'm pretty happy with it, for the most part. I've got it kind of going, and it looks kind of like an industrial factory sort of thing, which is kind of what I wanted. I like the tiered build of it. I really am a fan of that. I might make some tweaks. Because as a standalone building, I'm really happy with it. As it fits into this base, not quite as happy. And so I may be making some tweaks. Yeah, that's what I'll say on that. It may happen. I'm not sure what exactly will happen, but let's head in here. I wanted to go ahead and use some brick in this build because I've never really used brick before for anything, and like old-timey slaughterhouses and stuff like that use brick. So I you know, in a lot of my builds I've got the diorite or the andesite and other things used. I hadn't used any of the granite yet, and it's like, well, unpolished granite, it's got a lot of gray in it, so it's a decent bridge between, you know, pink and gray. So then I've also got the light gray clay, which is also kind of a grayish pink, and then that led me into the brick. So I think it works pretty well. I think the building as it's... One second. I am sorry about that. My Skype keeps changing itself from Do Not Disturb to available, which means that I get loud, noisy pings when I'm recording, so I apologize for those. But yeah, so I think I like the building as a whole. But as a part of this base, I'm not sure it totally fits. I mean, I do have, you know, some things in here that help it, but I think I might need to make some tweaks. So I'll probably be doing that, certainly off camera. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be yet, so we'll find out at some point. But yeah, so this thing's working. Let's take a look. So I've got these pens, I've got these tubes, and actually let's run over to the silo very quickly. And we will, this kind of made me mad. We're gonna grab some feed, so we can do this thing upright. But I'm probably, as I'm talking about making tweaks, I'm probably going to definitely be making some tweaks to the pens, because it seems like every time I log in, more animals have escaped from the pens. And they're fences, it's fully fenced, there's no way for them to escape. But they are escaping, so I think they're just glitching through the fences or something. So I'm definitely going to have to do something about that. Build up an actual wall or something, because I really don't want to have to be like constantly chasing down my animals. I want them to be properly contained. So not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but it's going to happen. So we'll figure it out at some point. But yeah, so pens of animals. We've got these water tubes. The animals, there are fence gates here. There will be, I haven't put it in yet because I just don't have the time right now, will be redstone underneath these so I can flick a switch and it'll open up. Usually I'll do that after I've bred this pen to capacity so that they're pushing each other enough around that they'll end up in the tube. At least that's what my original thought was. But originally I was going to have it in the middle of the pen so it might get more traffic, but I decided, you know, in case I want to move things along and if I'm really hungry and need the food as opposed to just doing it, I moved the tube out to the edge, so if I stand here with wheat, they'll be able to see it and they'll come rushing into the tube. Obviously the doors are closed right now, so that's not going to happen, but in a pinch, I can kind of force them into the tube and up just by doing that. So yeah, I get that this is not going to be the most efficient or even logical farm, but it's something that I mentioned before. It's something I kind of planned or designed a long time ago, and it was kind of a new thing when I designed it, and it's of course been years now, so it's nothing now. But I wanted to get it into this base because I didn't really have any kind of animal farm or whatever, so we've added it in. But yeah, so they get brought in, and we can jump up here. Ow. Okay. Like a boss. Alright, really want to be up on this windowsill, buddy. There we go. Alright, so they go in the tubes, and they get brought in and dropped off into this room, which we laid in the floor for last time. Or, in the last clip, I guess, not last time. Laid in the floor, now we've got it in here. The door is closed, but so all the animals will get dropped in here. Alright, and then, if we flick this switch, let's see if we can keep ourselves up on the windowsill again. Yes. So the door is open, and so now any animals that get brought in will bounce around in here and get dropped into the hole, and will be roasted down below. So let's actually flick this switch back off. I've done a little bit of breeding here, so I'm not going to do a ton of animals in right now, just because I don't have a ton in my pens. But let's actually, no reason to be weird about it. Let's open up these doors. I haven't got the redstone in, is why I'm having to do it manually. There will be redstone, and let me get back on out. Alright, so if we get our carrots and we bring it here, all the little piggies jump into the tube and they get going. Let me close this back off. Don't need... Yeah, you go ahead. There you go. You be in there. I'll close this back off. Little piglet. There you go, buddy. So we keep some of our stock. I do have backup animals tucked away, just in case. Oh, the breathing holes are going to be a problem, huh? Okay, I'm going to have to remove those breathing holes for the pigs, because they're one high. I didn't think about that. Pigs are going to need a straight tube of water, which they won't take suffocation damage up there, but let's see if we can't get these guys. There we go. There's that guy. There we go. There we go. Come on, you guys. Oh, once I fix those breathing holes, they should flow right through, no troubles at all. So yeah, they're hanging out in here. Let's jump across here, and we'll drop down into the cow and sheep pen. And I'll get these doors opened here. Alright, and then I'll jump on out, get my wheat going, and they should pile in here. Come on. There he goes. May have to take out some breathing holes here too. No, there they go. There we are. Yeah, these are both bigger creatures, so they should be fine. Alright, and that'll be enough. Grab some ender pearls here. Close. Go ahead. You're fine. No, want you out. Here we go. And we'll get this closed off. Nope, you get in. You can be out. That's fine. Not too many breathing holes in this one too. Gosh darn it. Minecraft animals are so stupid. Won't even go to their deaths properly. I mean, come on. Let's see if we can't get these guys through. Alright, so breathing holes bad. Thought that would be fine because they were bigger. I only put them every couple of blocks, but in case they got stuck or something, I didn't want them to drown, but I guess it's causing them to get stuck, so whichever. Let's go, people. We do not have all day. Filter on through. There you go. Water source blocks. Swim up. There we go. Yikes. Alright, so they will all filter in here as well. And I will definitely be fixing these bugs. Yikes. Alright, so there we go. There's all of our little animal friends. We've got all of our grown-up guys in here ready to go. We'll fall on down here. Alright, and we've got enough of everything to restock. Yep. Without tapping into the reserves even, so that works out nicely. And of course, animals keep escaping, so they're all over the place anyway. But yeah, so then we flick this switch, and I'm mainly keep flicking it right now for demonstration purposes. Now, why are they... Huh, a couple of them seem to get stuck on those signs. Nothing is going right here today. But yeah, so they fall down, and then we get all kinds of goodies. So there we go. Alrighty. Well, there we go. And so this will just kind of collect everything, and yeah. That'll be the collection point, and I've got some tweaks obviously to make. I'm running out of time to do the refinement here, but I'll get that going. One thing I definitely need to talk to you guys about, and I probably should have gotten into it earlier in the episode, but so I don't want anyone to freak out, but this is going to be the last Farside Friday for a while. I'm removing Farside SMP from my regular schedule. Couple of reasons for that. One, as I mentioned, I think earlier in the episode, I've got all these big projects we're doing out here, but there's things like I just never get a chance to get done. Like, I've got so much work to do on towers and the top of this thing. I gotta finish these roads and everything. You know, just I've got lots of tweaks to make here, lots of tweaks still to do on the farm. And really, doing a weekly series on this really doesn't leave me much opportunity to do any of that, because you guys don't want to see me just fixing the roof or messing with redstone. I mean, it wouldn't make a good episode, and which means I just don't really have time for it. And so I'm going to be taking Farside off the weekly schedule. I will still be putting out Farside episodes when I have opportunity. So maybe they'll come out on Sundays or something. I don't really have anything on Sundays. So if I've got a random update, maybe that's where that'll be coming from. Let me actually grab... While we're doing this, I'll clean up some of this prank. So if I've got something to update you on, I will be having an episode. Other than that, I'm not going to force myself to put something out every week. Really, there's no one on this server besides Yeti who's doing that right now. So I don't feel bad in doing that, because nobody else is doing even semi-regular updates. It's just not happening. So, you know, I know some of you enjoy this series, but really, this series gets like a third of the views of like my next most popular series or something like that. Okay, so yeah, there's the sad news. Farside is going away, at least as a regular series. I will be on the server. I'm not quitting Farside. I will be putting out updates on occasion when I have things to update you on or to do an episode on, once I get everything caught up and, you know, and I'm ready to show you guys something. But as far as a weekly update, it's going away because next week I'm starting a new Minecraft series on Friday, so I'm not leaving Minecraft behind. This server is not very active, and so and the views that I get on this episodes are not real great. So I know you guys are not, you know, real engaged with this series. I'm becoming... Ooh, excuse me. Caught my throat. I'm getting less engaged with this series just because, you know, you guys aren't engaged. There's really nobody around. You know, Yeti's great, but you know, to keep updating this series because there's one other guy on the server, and we've added some people, but none of them are YouTube people. So there's no really hope for doing collabs with any of those people or anything. And so, you know, I've got the projects I want to do out here, but beyond that, I don't know what I'm going to do on this server. So we're going to go down to occasional updates, and I'm going to be starting a brand new series next week. So Friday will still be Minecraft Day. So you guys, same time, same place. Come on over to Tortoise with the Great Gaming for all your Minecraft needs. But it's going to be a modded Minecraft adventure series, and I'm super excited about it. You guys will see all about it next week when the first episode comes out. I've been really stoked about it for a while, and just kind of was planning out, okay, well, how do I make the transition? And so this is kind of where we've landed. So yeah, so this is going to be the last Farside Friday, but certainly not the last Farside episode. It's just, I need more time than weekly updates allows me to get my projects done, and there's just so few people who are engaged with the series on my channel, just not getting enough views, that I figured, well, let's try something out. If there's people who like Minecraft but they're just vanilla is boring, or the way I'm doing this series is boring, which is certainly possible. For me, there's not much to do in vanilla besides build, and if you don't like building, then there's not much in this series for you, especially because there's not many people around left to prank or do anything of that sort. Yeah, we will be picking up next Friday with a brand new series. I'm really excited about it. Make sure you tune in. I think you guys are going to like it. I think it'll be something that will have a little bit more of everything for people. We may be doing some building. We may be doing a lot more adventuring and PvP and other kinds of things. It is an adventure map and mod pack and everything. So really excited about what the possibilities for this series are. And I've got a great, I think it'll be great for us. So yeah, again, episodes will be coming out. Stay subscribed if you're interested in Farside, and if you're not interested in anything else, still stay subscribed, because Farside will be coming out, just not weekly as it has been previously, because I need more time. All these projects are way too big, and it takes me almost a full week of playing time to do some of these projects that I'm doing currently. And I really just don't have that kind of time to grant to this, especially with as little payout as I get from it, with people viewing and commenting and things like that. Not that that's everything, but in the end, it's everything. If I were loving this series still, we would be doing it no matter what you guys were interested in. But I think this one, we're on in the 30s with this series. We've been going with it for most of this year. And, we'll stick with the SMP, at least until there is a map reset coming out. So if that happens, we may be making a move, just because I'm too old for that. I don't have the energy to start over a whole new map. As big and as grandiose as I'd like to do projects, I don't have time for starting all over by, punching trees again. So if that ends up happening, we may be starting out, or we may be leaving Farside behind. But until that happens, we are going to continue to mess around with this base, and I will bring you guys in for, I'm not going to say every other week or whatever, because I don't know when it'll be. There will be updates, but not as frequent, and I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, so I'll get everything. The next time we do come back for Farside. Hopefully all of these tweaks will be made, the roads will be in, and maybe we'll be starting on another cool project somewhere else, or other cool things. We still got to put in a mob farm and stuff like that, so there's definitely things still, well, a couple of things at least. So we're actually getting pretty down my list of things I wanted to do specifically, but yeah, there's things we can do, and new series to be had, and again, super excited about it. Make sure you check in next week. You guys are gonna love it. Even if you're not a huge fan of my regular Minecraft stuff, this will be great. And if you are a fan of Minecraft stuff, you're gonna enjoy it as well. So really excited about it. Make sure to leave a like in anticipation of that new series coming out. And yeah, make sure to let me know if you get any comments on this. It'll probably be a little while before I get back to this to make tweaks to it. So if you've got any feedback on this, and I like the build in general, like I said, but if you got any feedback on how I can make it fit more in with the rest of this, let me know. Let me know. Always interested in that kind of feedback. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I've been Tortoise with the Great, and you guys have been great. Make sure to leave those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, and I will see you guys next Friday with a brand new Minecraft adventure series. but there may be some building and stuff in it as well, as you guys will find out. So yeah, a little bit of everything for all those Minecraft fans. Make sure to check back in next Friday for that awesome new series, and let me know what you guys think of both this and I guess we got Ladderland here. If you've got any suggestions on what I should do to Cluster in retaliation for Ladderland, let me know. So anyway, have a good one, guys.